In 2008, President Obama pumped billions of dollars into the nation's green energy program. However, by 2011, Chinese companies, backed by government loans, tax breaks, and undervalued yuan, flooded the US market with the significantly cheaper goods. This caused the price of green goods to plummet, bankrupting many US green technology companies. To understand this predicament, let us examine the issue of trade between the two nations.
China, your undervalued yuan is causing great harm to our markets.
Well, that's because we need to sell our goods to other countries, including yours, so that we can grow our own economy.
But you're driving our companies out of business.
Well, that's because your own companies cannot make goods cheaply and efficiently enough. It costs so much to do business in America. For example, take the solar powered charger. In USA, it costs you $50 to make. In China, it costs us just $25 to make. Half the cost. So obviously, your companies go out of business.
The US has maintained a trade deficit with China due to its imports of Chinese goods. They appear cheaper because of the weaker growth in relation to the US dollar. This trade deficit had effects in both China and the US. For the effects on the USA, the consumers will benefit as they have a greater variety of foreign goods to choose from. Thus, their standard of living will increase. However, the domestic producers will suffer and cannot compete with the lower cost of production in China. Next, for the government, they can benefit through trade due to comparative advantage. However, with a trade deficit, their country's GDP will decrease, which will shrink the economy. With a trade deficit in the US, the aggregate demand will decrease because X minus M decreases. Thus, national income will decrease. With a fall in national income, the income per capita will decrease. Thus, it will be politically harmful to the government as the people will be angry for the government for the lower disposable income.
The US has various protectionism policies against China, such as its restrictions on importing Chinese solar panels. On the plus side, this will prevent domestic companies from being driven out of business by the cheap Chinese goods, which would cause great unemployment for the US. However, these restrictions will lead to stagnation of the local businesses as they no longer have a need to advance as they have no external competition. For China, the benefit they gain is that their local producers will have to become more competitive in order to sell their goods in the international arena, but will lose a large pool of customers due to these restrictions.